You know what I mean? People are debunking myths, you know.
With that being said, I DM'd Ronaldo Jose. When that whole thing was happening last week, I DM'd him and I said, I'd like to invite you on a public debate on a podcast, yourself and Nota on race relations. And then I'll facilitate it.
Yeah, please.
He still has not responded, but hopefully he'll respond soon. But I'd love like a public live podcast recording with an audience and with you and Ronaldo Jose, maybe one or two other guests discussing different issues, especially race relations, you know?
Yeah, I mean, our race relations, you know, are basically catching ethers from the breakdown of race relations in the United States. You must remember that there's a lot of racial reckoning that's been happening in the United States over the past 5-6 years. You know, there was the whole entire George Floyd, Black Lives Matter movement. Then that was responded to by DEI measures, you know, the blackout. And I think we need to be careful not to be influenced by what's happening in the States because it dominates our media so much that we now internalize states' race relations. Because the States, they're going through something where, you know, they've got the whole entire replacement theory where white people are going to be in lesser numbers. I'm not to say that white people will be a minority. Even if white people were 40% of America, they'd still be a majority because the other groups are less than one homogenous 60%. You know what I mean? So they'll still be a minority for long to come. So there's no real reason for them to fear the changing of their monoculture that they're trying to create. But what we should be fearing is people taking those fears and those projections from the States. Oh, yes, they're reducing our numbers. Or there's no black people that are reducing numbers of white people. There's no black people that are trying to replace white people in any position. White people are voluntarily leaving, and white parents are voluntarily having less and less kids, either 1 or 2 kids, which is less than the replacement rate of 2.6 either way.